pleasure to welcome you here today, to thank you for coming, not just the members of the media, but also our other guests and our members of our teams that are in this area, and to, of course, thank Rogers Arena and the Vancouver Canucks for their kind hospitality. In a few moments, I'll introduce John Grisdale, the Commissioner of the BCHL, who will tell you why the BCHL has created the Showcase event, and more importantly, will introduce our title sponsor. Then BCHL Communications Manager Brent Muniz will provide some background on the success of the BCHL within the CJHL and as a generator of players for the Canadian and U.S. universities, as well as leagues such as the National Hockey League. And finally, I'll get to introduce Jason Garrison, a proud BCHL grad, now a Vancouver Canuck, and the honorary chairperson of the 2012 BCHL Showcase. Before that, I just must introduce a couple of people here today who are key to the success of the Chilliwack Chiefs and of this event. And they're our head coach, Harvey Smeal. Wore his tie today, doesn't get fined, it's good. And the Energizer Bunny of our organization, our Director of Marketing, Barry Douglas. It's with great enthusiasm that our community, from Mayor Sharon Gates to Tourism Chilliwack and the Chamber of Commerce, embraced the notion of staging the first ever showcase. Dozens and dozens of volunteers, the 4 major Chilliwack media, and businesses of all kinds have jumped on board and are looking forward to greeting upwards of 10,000 fans to the city over the 3 days of September 7th to 9th. The showcase will see each of the 16 teams play 2 games each, games that count in the season standings, in either of the 2 arenas at Prospera Center. The main arena, where the Chiefs normally play, holds nearly 5,000 people, while the secondary sheet holds upwards of 500. Scheduling will keep the Chiefs and other most popular games in the primary rink. The opening ceremonies will take place before the 7:30 game on Friday, and that game will feature our Chiefs versus the RBC champion Penticton Vees. I can tell you that in Chilliwack, we think this is a very big deal. We are very proud to host it, and so I'm delighted to ask Commissioner John Grisdale to explain more about what the showcase means to this league and to junior A hockey in British Columbia. John?
Thanks, Glenn, and just to echo Glenn's comments, really appreciate everybody taking time out from your busy day to join us, looking at this opportunity to meet, which I've always supported. The time is right. The BC Hockey League mission statement is to be recognized as the top junior A league in North America. And for last year was our 50th season. There was great pride in the fact that this league had been in different forms, but together for 50 years. And we needed to showcase our players and our teams in a singular event. And hence the opportunity for the league to go out to tender on an RFP. We had 4 interested teams and locations. Chilliwack was chosen. But it's an opportunity for all of the scouts, not only professional scouts, but college, both Canadian and NCAA scouts, to come into one location to look at all the players. So of 380 players, 22 players registered for each team, plus any affiliates they're bringing with them coming into the Chilliwack. So the scouts can come in mass, the scouting package that's been delivered can come in mass and then watch the players over the course of 3 days, and if they choose to see them at least twice. In the past, they've had to travel around throughout the season to track the players, to talk to each other and scouts to say, who do you see and where do you see them, and or talk to our coaches. So this is going to give them a great opportunity right out of the gate to find the best talent they can in the BC Hockey League. And before moving ahead, I really want to acknowledge a couple, not only Jason, and when I started, Jason was in Nanaimo, and a credit to Jason and his development to go on to the heights that he has. But we have a couple other players that have played in our league just recently, and one currently, Alexander Kerfoot. Thank you, Alex, Andrew, for coming. Alex in the corner, Joey Leledja. Jolie played a year ago and a number of years in Penticton, and now is in Denver University. Joey got drafted, as did Alex. So both of them are recipients of opportunities that have been created by by playing junior hockey. Over the last 4 seasons, the BC Hockey League has provided an average of 98 scholarships to NCAA development opportunities to Division NCAA Division #1, 13 to Division III, and 15 to CIS, Canadian colleges and universities. So we're upwards of 126 opportunities a year, and an average of 36% of the players each year are turning over in some sort of an opportunity, and we find that, and the governors support that it's very important to them. But when you translate that to value, that's the value of those opportunities are between $2 and $3 million a year to the families. We're really proud of where we've been and where we're going, and again, the showcase, and thank you to Glenn and the Chilliwack Chiefs for taking this opportunity on full force. I can tell you from the meetings I've attended, the host committee is doing a phenomenal job of putting it together, and for our first one, it will be more than successful. So thanks again for everybody for coming, and we'll see you around the league.
Well, thank you, John. What a good recap that was of the history of what's being accomplished in our league. And it's really the reason why most of us that work in this league are involved in it, because of what it does for the young people. And we have a number of our teams here. Chilliwack is just one. We have Langley here, we have Surrey, we have Coquitlam representatives here in the room today, and they're all in it for exactly the same reason, an opportunity not only to provide good hockey entertainment in their communities, but to help young men get headed off in a good direction, whether it turns out to be hockey or turns out to be business or something else. The opportunities that are afforded to these young men through this league are really, really important to us. Give me back your own notes. Read mine. Thanks. This time, Brent, you have a few more comments you want to add?
Sure, I can add a couple things if you like.
Yeah. And then in a moment, we'll introduce Mr. Garrison.
Yeah, thanks again everyone for being here. This time I think we should recognize that this event wouldn't really be possible or get off as well as it's going to without the support of Save On Foods, who's going to be the title sponsor coming on board for our inaugural event. Your support, being here today and recognizing what we're doing for the first time this year in Chilliwack is really important to us. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jason. He's the honorary chairperson for our first event here in Chilliwack, and he's just going to step up, and he played a couple years in Nanaimo for the Clippers and won a Fred Page Cup, which is our league championship, and probably has a few anecdotes he can relate. So, honorary chairperson Jason Garrison.
Alright, cool. Well, first I want to start off by thanking you guys for allowing me to be the chairperson. I know growing up in the Lower Mainland, BCHL was always a dream of mine, and I think that it's really important that we continue to develop the league and to make it, dreams for young players growing up. And obviously the showcase is something where it's heading in the right direction. But it says, what do I got here? So what the BCHL did for me as a player was it developed my skills a lot. It's a good experience at the highest competitive junior A level. So I was a forward. I moved back to defense during my first year. I had a great relationship with my players and the coaches, and it was just a really good stepping stone for me to continue at a competitive level. I had no really other choice but to choose the BCHL or to work to get there. As a late bloomer, and didn't get in there until my 19-year-old year. So, and I know that with my scholarship to Minnesota Duluth, it was my coaches were always coming to me and asking me who was the next guy, the next young star in the BCHL, and they loved coming out here to scout because there were a lot of great Western Canadian players. And finally, I did have the chance, to be competitive with the team, and we won the Fred Page Cup and the Doyle Cup, and went to the RBC. Unfortunately, didn't win, but you know, it's, if those things didn't happen to me, obviously the exposure for me wouldn't have been there. And, you know, it's, I think that, you know, a showcase like this, you know, where everybody comes together at the same time, is obviously a tremendous thing. And, you know, if I wasn't able to be on a competitive team, I don't know where I would be today. So,